No. Hello, good evening, everyone. And I think I'm live right now. Okay, so I just got off from an important webinar, and I had the privilege to listen to a motivational webinar actually about how to be creative in these times of great crisis, a global pandemic that is hitting us all, that is affecting us one way or the other. To those who just tuned in, my name is Ayo Gutierrez. I'm your book coach. And this is the second time I'm going live. And I think I found some useful hacks to ensure that I'll do better this time in terms of lighting. So nakita niyo, medyo mas illuminated ang aking background ngayon. So I learned from my lesson the last time that I had this YouTube live. And at the same time, I found a very comfortable place to actually move around because you know me, sometimes I like to do some maneuvering here. Anyway, I'd like to invite all of you to please, once again, if you haven't done so, go over my YouTube channel, that is Ayo Gutierrez TV, and follow my Facebook pages. We have, or I have GMGA Publishing. Those who are considering their books to be published or for their book services. Now we are a book services provider, and I'd like also to invite all of you to like and follow another page, Facebook page of mine, that is the Poets League. So how are you this evening? You know what? It's a very productive and busy day for me. It's a Saturday. I had my groceries done a while ago and some of the assignments I did for my social media marketing. I'm enjoying that class totally. My BYU Pathway Connect, I'm down to the last 3 weeks now and I'll be graduating. So yeah, cheers for that. And today, or this week rather, we studied about Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And I guess that I'm more equipped now to really expand my social media presence, so to speak, and improve my branding. Yung pinag-uusapan natin palagi, no? In this age and day where, you know, you are seeing a lot, you are being fed every day with millions of information out there. How do you make sure that you will stand out? How do you make sure that your personality will shine through? So these things are important because you know, everything that we do now is somehow affected with technology. And even the businesses that are in, you know, I'll not go far. This is the topic tonight. Our topic for tonight is the top 10 winning habits of highly successful authors. Okay, you got it. You heard it right. The top 10 habits of highly successful authors. So now you know when I said that, as a perspective, there are authors who are not successful, those who are successful, and there are those who are highly successful. They're really explosive ones, okay? And as you can see or say, success is relative, okay? In terms of having the readership, having fame, having money. So let's define first what it means to be a successful author, okay? And I think that you will get it. Now, today I helped a friend um, get her book uploaded on KDP, which is an online platform, so you can publish your books. And this is really the publishing arm of Amazon, KDP. Okay, and we were having this conversation, and she was pretty much perplexed about how to price her book. And she asked me, and then she gave me a certain amount, and she worked hard for it. I saw it, and you know, tears and blood, and having foregone a lot of nights of sleep. Of course, the passion is there, the hard work is there, and now she told me that I cannot really price it high. And my question to her was, why not? Why not? Why not? What's stopping you from really going for the price that you want for your book? And you know what? For me, that is not really a reasonable price given all the things that she has done to her manuscript, how she invested her money on it. And then she said it's because that's the way they do it, and I'm bound with certain rules in her group. And I asked her, but how does that make you feel? What do you think about those things? And she said, I'm not really happy. So I told her, you know what? If you're going to ask me, because she asked me, how about you? And I answered her, you know what, my friend? I don't sell myself short. I don't sell my books cheap. It's because I know the value offering of what I am writing about, okay? So it's important that you understand that, okay? Being a successful author, if you're going to go for this industry, remember your very purpose. Because she kept insisting to me, or a lot of authors will tell you that, well, I just want to make a legacy. Yes, okay? But if you're going to talk about in terms of sustainability in the future, profitability, do you have the intention to make it your career? Do you have an intention to make it a business? All right, those are very different things. If you're doing this just out of passion, and I highly recommend it because it's so hard to do something that you don't really love, you're gonna burn out very soon, especially in book writing. Or the other thing that you need to consider is, what is that one thing? If you're gonna focus everything on just book writing, will it feed me? Will it feed my family? Will I be able to sustain the lifestyle that I want? Will this be a means for me to propel to achieve my bigger dreams in life? So if you're going into that perspective already, then you know that you have to take your writing seriously. Because now, from just coming from this standpoint of you just leaving a legacy and doing out of passion the things for, producing books, now you go to the other spectrum, and then you consider the practicality of it. Okay, i understand that I understand that the heart, because personally I cannot do something when my heart is not there, especially with the genre that I chose early on, poetry. You know it, okay? And it's funny that there are people, there are writers who think that on their first launch or on their first poem, it's going to give them millions of pesos or millions of dollars. So that's being delusional, my dear friends. Now let's go straight to the topic, and I'll give this one at a time and try to explain everything. And of course, I'm sure there are other winning habits that other authors are employing so that they become highly successful. Okay? So what comes to my mind, highly successful? Name it. Neil, J.K. Rowling, Stephen Covey, George McKeown, the author of Great Right Now. What's her name? And yeah, once in a while you keep hearing about who's really making it on the top of the charts, not only on Amazon, but locally, no, speaking here, sino ba yung mga lumalabas ng mga magagaling? Alright? Those who are bestsellers. Bestsellers, pagdating international bestsellers, you know what I'm saying. So the result, the success is really explosive. Alright, number one, first winning habit. Number one is they write daily. Okay? Ulitin ko ha, they write daily. Writing is a habit. Okay, not hobbit. Writing is a habit. Now, if there are people telling me that they're just waiting for the right time to write that one book that will really make the difference, you know what? I almost think that that person will fail. Because if you want to become a superstar writer or author, you have to get into the habit of writing. Okay? Now, let's as a personal experience, this is not really bragging, no, but just to tell you about the discipline that I started with myself. The earliest journal that I was able to save was when I was not 9 years old. I think that I was like 11 years old, but I started writing when I was 9 years old. Okay? So in here, I call it journal, or you call it diary, whatever. This is a combination of my travel journals, dream journals, quotations, everything. I even posted all the dry leaves here, the chocolate wrappers given by my suitors before, all of those things, even bus tickets, restaurant napkins, anything that would give or strike a memory. There's a sentimental value in the daily happenings of my life. Oh my gosh, where did I get this one? Ito siya. Parang sa ano ko yun eh. Sa love life ko yun eh. Wag yan. So, ito, you see, some of the photos are already faded. And I used to record everything that's happening to me. Medyo hindi ko mapapakita sa inyo yan, pero sabi ko nga, I kept posting yung aking mga favorite quotes or talks. Ito ba ako dapat pupunta? Ayan, no? And I even wrote letters, like a letter that I should read when I turn 20 or turn 30, turn 40, when I have my first child. Ginawa ko lahat yon. Okay? So, when I attended mga retreats or group or company activities, then we would have this letter writing to each other. Diba? Mahilig tayo sa ganun. Yan, I would gather all those notes and I would put them here. Okay? What did it give me? It gave me the practice that I needed so that my writing becomes fluid, so that I will be more conversational in my writing, not the technical, you know it when you are writing for writing's sake, than really using your voice when you are writing. So, I would encourage you to please write daily, be it like 10 minutes of free handwriting every morning. Make it as a routine, or you can go as far as long as 30 minutes or 1 hour. It doesn't matter. Okay? That's point number 1. Habit number 1. Habit number 2 is highly successful authors read daily. Okay? I'd like to say hi to my friends, Kai. Thanks for watching. And some of you, you know what? I didn't realize last time that there were questions that were typed habang nagsasalita ko. I didn't know because I couldn't see it from my screen. But anyway, I made it up and answered that after the live. Alright? Now, you have to read daily. You cannot write anything if you're stuck with the same thoughts that you have. Okay? If you are a writer, you have the responsibility to tell the story. You have the responsibility to tell the facts and to present. Okay? So depending on your goal as a writer and author, you don't shortchange people because you don't know things. That's why a big chunk of writer's life is devoted in research. Okay? Let me repeat that. Highly successful authors do a lot of research before they write their novels. I have friends from Canada, Australia, and they're working on their novels, and it so happens that some of their characters are from Asia or particularly from the Philippines, and they would ask me things like, what kind of, ano daw ba yung iniinom natin dito na parang katumbas daw ng wine? So I answered, it's called lambanog, diba, sa Philippines. So if you're writing something that is not truthful, tapos sa makakabasa na reader sa'yo ay do not agree because they live in that region, delikado ka. Alright? Unless what you're writing is really walang basis. But you know what? All novels have this real reality, based on reality as well. So yun. You have to read daily. Ako, part of my routine is really reading a dictionary online or this one. Pero iba pa rin kasi sa akin yung my love for books, yung nahahawakan ko, naamoy ko, nadadouch ko. Iba talaga yung feeling niya sa akin. Mas matindi ang retention in my brain if I really have the book in my hands. Okay, it's a totally different thing. And I also have this ready reference. I have this book, 1001 Quotations from philosophers and thinkers and coming from different walks of life. So as a reference so that I can understand, like if I want to understand a certain concept, then I would know where to refer to. Okay? So those are just some of the things. And of course, right now I think I have announced it that I am working on a novel. So for me, it's important that I understand the language of a novel. Even if I am a reader, it's different now when you are reading because you want to write in that genre. Okay? So now, because my interest really is historical romance. Okay? That is the genre that I really chose. So I'm working on it now. And for me to understand the landscape of the Philippine setting during the time of the occupation of Spain in the Philippines, because that's very important. I'm talking about historical romance. So now I'm reading a book from one of our national artists, F. Chonil Jose, one of my favorite. I met him in person and I had the privilege of interviewing him. So Poon is really a moving story of the Ilocanos. Ang galing, ang ganda talaga, kakaiba talaga masulat si F. Chonil Jose. Okay? He's in league with Nick Joaquin, yung mga contemporary niya, di ba? So magaling. Now, next is, saan na tayo? Number 3 is, they set goals and stick with their deadlines. That is habit number 3. Okay? As a writer, you need to set goals or nothing happens. And when you set goals, you also stick with your deadlines. Treat deadlines as something sacred. Alright? Marami kasi pag if you're not gonna watch out for your timeline, medyo mag-fall behind ka. And the other thing there is you lose the perspective when challenges come or there are distractions on your way. So make sure, okay, I always have this goal. I even have vision board that I see every day. And you know what? I did that many years ago, but now when I'm seeing my vision board right now, some of those things are already happening. And some of the books that I imagined like months or years ago, they are now coming into fruition. So set goals and stick with deadlines. Number 4 is what is this one? All right, the importance of finding the right people to mentor you. All right, that's another thing. So para sa akin, importante that you have a good artist. We also have a great editor that will make you cry. It means to say an editor who challenges your ideas, who nitpicks on some of the things that he doesn't like about your writing. But it doesn't mean that you have to change it totally. But sometimes when you are so in love with your work, with your writing, you think that that is already polished. Having a new set of eyes, you're having an editor and all of these things. So make sure that you find the right people who will mentor you, okay? Especially those who will help you if you choose the path of becoming an indie author or a self-published author, okay? Clear? Are we clear on that? The other one is number 5. They do not procrastinate. Oh, sorry. They push beyond their limits. Sorry. They push beyond their limits. What does it mean? It means that you do not rest on your laurels, okay? Just because you have achieved a certain amount of success on your first launch or on your second book, you don't try anything new anymore. Like you become more complacent. And just because you are so used to this kind of technique or method or the way you do things, especially marketing your book, now we'll deal with that later, but this one, you have to push yourself beyond your limits because you don't know yet what else can you do given all of your talents and skills as an author. For example, if you start being a poet, why not metamorphose into something, no? Like trying out writing essays, writing inspirational books, and eventually you will venture writing novels. Now, the very purpose of becoming flexible with a lot of genre, it's because you get to try a lot of things, and that's an added plus for you. That's really an advantage if you understand these things. Now, I know a lot of great poets, okay? But they are not good in prose. Like, they cannot even construct a really composed sentence. But if you are going to read their poetry, it's amazing. Like, wow, they're so magnificent. So you have to push your limits. Do not sit on your laurels. Try to learn new things, adapt, and always, what do you call this? Dress yourself in a way that you will transform, evolve in a positive way. Okay? Next is number 6. They accept criticism and move forward. Like I told you last time, when you are in this industry, criticism is part of your life. Okay? You cannot eschew it. This is already something that you need to embrace because you are putting your work out there and there's nothing you can do. If it's printed, it's there. It's not like you have magic that you can just wave your hand and then remove all the unnecessary parts or something that you don't like there. You don't have that kind of power. Once it's printed, it's there. So all you can do now, when somebody gives you a feedback that is not to your liking, the best way to do it is assess and then you move forward. You don't dwell on one negative feedback, and that will discourage you from writing again. So push yourself again, going back to the other winning habit. Number 7 is they manage well their finances. All right. This is like a cliche, or this is like a humor that I've been hearing since I was young, that writers and journalists are broke. Mostly they are broke. And let's add to the insult, poets are broke. Okay? Well, understand this. When you are starting, like in any business, okay, remember that you are not good as well as you wanted it. Okay? You have some good ideas, brewing in your mind, but that doesn't mean that might be the right or appropriate thing for you to really make it big in this industry. So I would say that in times when you are still starting, make sure that you know how to feed yourself. And when you start, let's say you are submitting stories or essays, and you get paid. You don't know when is the next paycheck, right? You don't know that. So when I started receiving checks from Amazon from my book royalties, okay, I started becoming more jubilant and excited that finally I am an author who earns, all right? Because at first when I came here, I was just happy to have this collaboration thing going on. So parang ang ganda pakinggan, like, oh, I have an international collaboration with the writers there in UK or in America, like, wow. But the thing is, I was broke. I had no money. I have a full-time job, and my job is really paying me good. It's really good, but I'm still keeping my full-time job because I know I haven't really achieved the zenith or the peak of my career, and I understand and acknowledge that it might take some time. Okay, it might take some time before I become really good, not just good, and I learned the ropes of becoming truly, truly great, right? So up to the time that there is this, the wall that divides me or separates me from this greatness, all right? I can say that you have to manage your finances well. Okay? You don't stick. That's why I encourage authors that when you are starting, when you are writing, make sure that you also have other ways to feed yourself. You just can't rely on your writing. Alright? Unless you are, and then when you start earning, make sure that you don't change your lifestyle, or you don't spend too much to spend your new lifestyle. Stay the same, and save and invest your money. Be wise stewards of what you are receiving, so that when millions come, you are much ready to handle those things. Okay? Next is, what number are we right now? Okay. And number 8, all right, they build their community and engage with them. By community, I mean the readers, all right? Sometimes you think that you need millions of readers to make you extremely or highly successful. But really, you have to go for the micro-influencers and a focused network. Okay? That's why a lot of writers start with, anong tawag mo nga doon? That they just put their essays or their short stories there. They upload it and then they gain a certain leadership. Tapos, of course, captured market mo na yon, then you can go big. Alright? So, it's important for you to learn this as early as now, because if you are thinking about getting noticed by traditional publishers, understand that they will They will look into your social media platforms and they will see your following. All right? Because they will invest in you and they want to make sure that they will, it will be compensated because you have the people who's going to buy your book. So right now, if you are this kind of author that just to think you have a book and you think that everybody will buy it, that's a wrong idea. Okay, that's a wrong notion. So you have to engage people. Sa totoo lang, in this industry, it's like showbiz. Alright? The likability of an author is is a big factor for people to patronize your books. Okay? Try to be snobbish, try to sound arrogant and all. Nakikita mo that you will be turning people off. Okay, so likability, the principle of niceness as well is important in this industry. That's my daughter. Okay, next, did I say it right? They know how to. No, I changed this one because. All right, the importance of this is important, huh? Because I'm not talking about the technical side of it. All right, yung all right, they know how to collaborate. Okay, I'd like to I'd like to take this time to share with you that when I started here, I have to stop her. When I started here, I I started with collaboration. So I started with anthology. Okay, I didn't know editors, I didn't know artists, let alone book mentors. I didn't know marketers. So zero knowledge, zero experience when it comes to online self-publishing. All right? So now I started with collaboration. Collaboration with people who who will complement my ideas, who share the same passion and vision. All right? But it's important that you are also very careful when you collaborate. Mostly, there are collaborators who just ride on the coattails. Is that how you say it? Of other people's success. Parang sumasabit lang nakikisabit. You have to assess yourself as well. What is the value that you bring to the table? Okay? Because at the end of the day, it's about the value that you offer to that collaboration. If you are collaborating with what you know, nasa business ka eh. So always think about what's in it for me. That's the kind of thinking that other people that there are really personal agendas. That's why you collaborate, right? But make sure that when you do collaboration, you are also choosy in terms of the kind of values that you share and the professionalism and the goal. Because I I I tell you right now, I have failed collaborations as well, but I have more successful collaborations than the failed ones. And I have learned great lessons along the way. That's why I'm writing a book about this. And I am co-authoring uh, with one of the YouTube stars or celebrities here in the Philippines, si Doc Gigi Sunga. So we are now writing our book together. Huh? Di na ko muna i-announce para hindi siya tawag dito, ang Tagalog nun? Mabulilya. So I don't know what's the English word for that, so that I won't say it right now because I don't want to stop the process, alright? So let it be, let it flow. I hope that you're getting something from what we are discussing. And as a pause, no, I've been sharing winning habits of highly successful authors. So if you think that you have what it takes to tread this new industry, well, it's about time for you to understand some of the realities that are happening in the ground. Okay. Now I shared about writing daily, reading daily, setting goals, and sticking to the deadlines. I also talk about focus network and all of those micro influencers. Number 10 is this. Okay? And I think this is also like 50% of the rate, the ratio, okay? 50% of the ratio of becoming a highly successful author, especially if you are a self-published author. Number 10 is they market themselves well. Highly successful authors do not shy away or do not avoid marketing. Okay? There are authors who think that just because they're done writing their manuscript, the the work ends there. That's false. That's just half the battle. Okay? And there are so many things that are happening when you're writing your manuscript. But even before you start writing, okay, make sure that you understand that part of what you're going to do, some sort of investments, energy, time, resources, all of these things, even courage, you have to have courage in doing this. And creativity and knowledge and skills. Marketing is a skill, okay? It's so hard for you to it is it is a legitimate it is not legit, okay? This is not acceptable if you say that you are an introvert person, you are shy. So you don't talk about your book. I've seen it, I've witnessed it many times over that when first time authors put out their work, after they publish their book, they become silent. That's the best way to kill your business. Okay? This is a highly personalized vocation. No, if I may put it that way, this is you and your book. So it's like a connection starting from your brain and your heart that came out as words, written words, and you have the book. Are you not proud of what you have produced? That's my simple question to those who wrote their books. Now that it's out, you have to talk about it. Make a buzz. Let other people know what you have been doing in the last months and tell them the importance, tell them the value, the juice of your book. That's how you do it. And then it's a totally different concept, no? And probably I'll go another live for this one. How do you market yourself well? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work at first, I tell you. Like here, coming out live and talking to you, offering free content, giving reviews, getting reviews, being a guest to podcasts, different YouTube channels. That's a lot, no? But you have to push yourself to the limit, right? Beyond, push yourself beyond the limit. I said that that's one of the winning habits. That's what I meant when I said that you have to push yourself. Okay, some people told me it's because you already appeared on TV, hosting, you know how to do public speaking because you are a trainer for a long time. But mind you, there were preparations before I landed here to where I am right now. Before, the confidence that I have right now was also a timid girl years back who was so afraid to talk to strangers, particularly to talk to the doctors. I don't know why. I was too afraid to talk to the doctors. I don't know why. But when I was young, I was a timid girl. Okay, so you don't really see me talking. I'd rather bury my head in the books and just write something. Okay, that was me many years ago. But of course, there are things that I did that helped me become a better person and become more personable, become more expressive, especially both in writing and speaking. So those two things. But what I'm trying to drive at here is it's really about you and the value of your book. If you think that there is value in there, so why will you shy away from inspiring other people through your books? Talk about it as often as you can. Give it as a you can offer free seminars, after the pandemic, like face to face, and then hand out your books, go to different libraries in your city, and then hand out your books, go to influencers you find on Instagram or those in other social media platforms. Team up with them, collaborate. That's how you market your book. You keep talking about, you know what, it's not selling. What you're selling here is yourself. And then when they are sold to you, then it's almost automatic that they will like the books that you are writing, right? Now, I have some of my friends here, and I'm happy to see their feedback, their comments here. I have my friend from the United States, Elder Anderson. I'm saying hi to you. Yeah, I'm young, but not very young. Should I reveal my age? Because I can't believe that I am turning 40 this December. Like, I really stopped counting my age, okay? But now, it dawned on me that I am actually turning 40. My life is just starting, right? So, great things to come. So there you have it, my dear friends. I hope that you took down notes, and you could remember the top winning habits of highly successful authors. And I'm gonna post it on my live feed after this one. I'm gonna edit the description of this one, and I'll list down everything that I said. Okay, now is the time for our Q&A, and I am gonna do it right by opening another Facebook window, okay? And then so I can see the questions or remarks. The last time I did it, I failed to read the questions. Okay, so if you have any questions right now, I'd like to hear from you, or any comment or clarification and just anything I said tonight. I hope this has been very helpful to you as you venture or you start your way towards authorship. Right? Where is it? Come on, don't be shy. Also, let me just tell you one of my recent experiences with working with a collaborator, and he's a good friend of mine. The reason why I really like this friend, it's because he's so honest. That his honesty makes me cry. It brings me back to earth. Like, you have to be grounded. You know what? You can tell me that my book cover is ugly, or you can tell me that this line is really like, you would be bewildered, okay, that I wrote that way. So it's important, for example, remember, first impressions are important, likability, niceness. And also, when you put out yourself out there as an author, you cannot escape author interviews. People will really come talking to you, asking you to be their guest or write this for them. Like me, I keep getting invitations to be featured in their magazine or in their podcasts. All right? So, first impressions are important, are critical, if I may say. Just like the first impression that people will have on your book. And what's the first thing they see? Like right now, what do you see? Here is my face, right? So you're trying to take note of the contours of my face, how I look, my expression, the way my lips move, and everything, right? Now, if you buy a book, what is that thing that captures your attention? And the answer there is the book cover. Okay? You know what? I have to be honest with you. When it comes to publishing your book, writing your book, you give out your best. Alright? You don't send out crappy things there. Because it's gonna stay there for a long time. I've learned my lesson when I first released my book. When I released my first book. Okay, I wasn't satisfied, but there was nothing that I could do about it. But now that I do know the importance of having professional covers, make sure that even if I am publishing, I seek the best artists I know and I pay them. All right. So when you approach people to work with you, especially doing art for you, you don't ask for. Okay, you have to be very selective. Like book covers can make or break the sale. This is my collection, and I wanted. This speaks much about myself. I'm into this. Well, if I ask people if what one word they will describe, what one word that will best describe me, I always get the answer without bragging. Ha. They say that I am elegant daw. Totoo ba yun? Yeah, so in keeping up with that impression and also the way I think about and feel about myself, all right, like spontaneous down and everything. So I tend to have covers that speak artistically. That's why if you can see my covers, I really go into art like watercolor. This one is watercolor done by my friend Anna Broa. Hi Anna, she's from University of the Philippines, and she designed this one. Another shout out to my friend from the United States, Emily St. Marie. I love her because she really does great covers. You see, the simplicity and the elegance, the minimalist design here. So I'm really satisfied with the work that she did for me. And of course, I cannot fail to mention my friend also from Pixel and Feather. She did this exactly the way I envisioned it. Iwakare, collection of tankas. So something mysterious and deep and something like spiritual in nature. That's how you define, right? Even the colors speak much about what kind of book you have. So again, make sure that when you first think about conceptualizing a book, all of these things matter, right? And if you want to make it big, remember this: there's no shortcut. Okay, so even they say that, and they contend that, well, there are some authors who get ghostwriters. Yeah, but they still do their thing, right? Marketing it, and they have the idea. They just pitching the idea to the ghostwriter. All right. So still, there are a lot of things at play here. But if you wanna be a highly successful author in the future, know that it would take sacrifice, it would take creativity, consistency of purpose, discipline. It's important. Um, Basic human relations. All right? Especially now, I feel like I am catching up with the times. I'm not that old. But of course, when you give it to the digital natives, the millennials and the digital natives, they know better how to navigate the online world. So it is one of the reasons why I push myself beyond my limits because I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand how this Facebook analytics work. I don't understand. I did not understand how you could really do the right thing, marketing yourself on Pinterest or going to Snapchat or having your website. I just didn't know these things. These were mysteries to me before. But right now, I have gained that confidence that it's possible. And I am learning a lot. No, I keep plugging it here because it's really helping me. Now I am a social media manager to myself. I am taking care of my social media platforms. I take care of the content and all of the vlogs, the videos that I produce, the articles that I write. It's a practice. It's a practice for me. And I know that over time, I know that hard work, no, this hard work and smart work will be commensurated in the future if I keep doing this. Now, I got a question from my friend Matt, and she asked, is there such thing as freestyle writing, like yung walang rules na sinusunod? Okay, I think I like that question. All right. Freestyle writing, like freestyle poetry. All right. Free verse, Here's my take on this, all right? Here's my take on this. When you cook, you can cook the way you want it, right? For example, our famous dish, like, give me one. Kare kare. I hope those friends from the other countries can understand what it is, but you Google it. Kare kare, okay? Without any knowledge how to do it, okay? Do you think that you can cook it? Maybe yes, getting someone to dictate to you what you're gonna do with the ingredients and everything. Now, for me, my stand on this question is this: before you break the rules, you have to master the rules. Okay? Before you can really do freestyle writing according to your own liking, and I think that's also important that you don't lose your voice and your style. But when it comes to correctness, okay, those things are different. You have this personal style of writing, all right? That maybe that's what you mean by freestyle writing, because this is how you want to do it, okay? All right, no problem with that. But when it comes to correctness, okay, you cannot really do much with breaking the rules. There are grammar rules as well. All right? Yun. So for me, before you can break the rules, make sure that you understand the rules first. You master them before you go freestyle. What do I mean by this one? So I can write poetry in free verse style. And I can do poetry in rigid, strict forms. Alright? But I've seen how poor a poem is written from someone who doesn't understand any poetry forms and rules. Okay? So I think it's just an excuse if you, because you know what, how can you challenge the status quo? How do you challenge a certain norm if you don't know how to play around it? Right? Ganun lang din yun eh. It's also the same question as, what's the best genre to write? Okay, is it mystery? Is it romance? Is it action, sci-fi? Things like that. The answer to that is yes, all of them. But for you to be extremely good at one genre, just because pinili mo yan, number one pala yung romance, it's still the number one top-selling books of all time. People still love to read romance. Just because you know that people read a lot of romance books doesn't mean that when you write a romance novel, it's gonna sell. The same way, like when you want to write something and you want it freestyle, it doesn't mean you can do that, but be ready for the critics. And I know one friend, his name is Dale Brandon Hyde. Hi Dale, I hope you're watching me. But I'm so proud of him as well because he writes the way he speaks, and he knows his character. Magkaiba kasi yan eh. Yung tinatawag natin sa mga novels, right? Okay, sometimes if a character is unlearned, okay, did not go to school. So of course, when he writes something, there are a lot of misspelled words. So when I started reading his novel, I found a lot of errors, and I said, that's why, because he lived in the street, he wasn't, he was forced, he was unlearned. So that pretty much justifies everything. Okay, thank you, Matt. Sana nasagot ko yung tanong mo. Yeah. So yeah, master the rules, know the rules, master the rules, then break the rules. Because now then you can do it with style and with confidence. Ba? Because you know what you are breaking, and you can now justify what you've done. Alright? Thank you so much for watching, my dear friends. And if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in my inbox. And again, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be producing videos in the coming days. And I'll be uploading as well the other videos that I have produced in the past, all related to writing and book writing. So feel free to shoot me for if you want to send an email. You can also do that and send that to gmgapublishing@gmail.com. Okay, so wrapping up, I shared with you the top winning habits of highly successful authors. Like I always hear from business webinars, you know, they say that to be extremely successful and be among those who enjoy much success. Yeah, this is the same thing. All right? You have to be among the top 5% of that industry. Always aim for the top 5%. Okay? Do not scratch with the turkeys. You fly with the eagles. Okay? Do not limit your potential as a person, particularly as an author. Because this is such a rewarding career. Okay? More than a therapy for the soul, it is really about you. It's about your message. It's about what you can offer to people. Your heart and your mind. No? It's really important. So again, my dear friends, this is Ayo Gutierrez, your book coach, and I like to leave with you my favorite tagline. All right, ink your legacy. See you again next week. All right, goodbye.